Did you know that as an international student, you can pay way less for university in the United States? Most people actually think they have to pay super high out of state tuition, but there's actually a legal way to get in-state tuition and save over $100,000 on your degree. Today, I'm actually going to show you step by step how you can do this using Texas A&M as an example. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly how international students can qualify for in-state tuition at US public universities. And I also have a big secret to share at the end, so make sure that you watch until then. Okay, before I explain how you can get in-state tuition, you first need to understand how tuition works in the United States, because it's very different from other countries. So in America, there's two main types of universities and colleges. The first is public universities and colleges. Now, these schools are funded by the government, and each state controls them. So schools like Texas A&M, Austin, Texas Tech, these are all public universities and get money from their state governments. Now, the second type are private colleges and universities. These schools do not receive government money. So schools like Rice University or even Harvard, these are private, and their prices are the same for everyone, regardless of their status. Now, here's the key part. Public universities and colleges charge different tuition rates depending on where you live. So there's something called in-state tuition, and this is the lower price that people who live in that state pay. So for example, in Texas, if you are a Texan resident, then you qualify for in-state tuition at public colleges and universities in Texas. And that's usually a much lower price than the next type, which is called out-of-state tuition. So out-of-state tuition, this is actually a much higher price that students from other states or countries have to pay. So again, if you are not a Texan resident and you come from, say, Florida to come study in Texas, then most likely you will pay out-of-state tuition. So let's actually go and look at an example of this. So this is Texas A&M. And right now I am saying that, hey, look, I am a Texas resident, so that means I qualify for in-state tuition. And if you look at the in-state tuition, it is $5,642 per semester. So this is in-state tuition. And basically what that means is that the government is subsidizing a lot of this price. So therefore, if you are a Texan resident, you will only be paying about $6,000 per semester to attend Texas A&M. Now, what happens if you are an international student or even a non-resident? If you look at the price now, it goes up to about $20,000 a year. And that's because the government is not subsidizing your costs. Because of that, you are going to be paying almost 3 or 4 times more than a person who's a Texan resident to attend Texas A&M. So as you can see, in-state students pay around $12,000 per year, while out-of-state students are paying about $40,000 per year. And you can see that that's a difference of over $28,000 per year. So if you study for 4 years, that's over $100,000 more just because you're not from Texas, which is crazy. But don't worry, I'm here to show you how you can pay the in-state price even as an international student. Alright, so now that you understand how tuition works, let's actually talk about community colleges, because this is the key to saving money. So what exactly is a community college? Well, a community college is a 2-year school that offers the first half of a university degree, but at a much lower cost. So instead of you going straight to a 4-year university, many students start at a community college first for the first 2 years, and then they transfer to a university to finish their degree. So these community colleges actually offer associate's degree, which are just the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree. And after that, you actually transfer to a university like Texas A&M to complete the last 2 years in order to get a bachelor's degree. Now, anyone can attend a community college, including international students. And the best part about all of this and attending a community college is that it's way cheaper. So instead of paying like $40,000 per year, if you were going to go to Texas A&M as an international student, you might pay anywhere from like $6,000 to $8,000 per year at a community college as an international student. Now, I actually made a video about all of this, and I'm going to be linking it somewhere up here and also in the description. So I definitely encourage you to actually go watch that video so that you can understand a lot more about international students and community college. Now that you know what a community college is, here's why you should start there instead of going straight to a university. Well, we know that community colleges are cheaper, so they cost way less than traditional universities. The other thing is that they're easier on the admissions. So you don't usually have to do the SAT or ACT in order to get admission into a community college. There's also two other reasons. The first is the smaller class sizes. You get actually more one-on-one time with your professors when you go to community college. Now the last one is actually there is a pathway to in-state tuition. And this is the biggest reason to start at a community college. So after 2 years at a community college, you can transfer to a university like Texas A&M and you will save thousands of dollars. But I know what you're thinking. That's great, but how do I get in-state tuition at Texas A&M? Well, this is where the big secret comes in. Are you ready? Let's actually go and take a look at it. All right, here's the biggest secret that most international students don't know. You can qualify for in-state tuition at public universities and colleges in America with just a $1,000 scholarship. Yes, you heard that right. A single $1,000 scholarship can save you tens of thousands a year in tuition. So here's the step-by-step process of how it works. Now, this is just one way you can do it. There's many other ways, but this is what I would suggest that you do. The first thing is go to community college. Once you get into community college, get good grades. It's much easier to get a very good grade at a community college because you get that one-on-one with professors, and it's often easier to get better grades if you put the work in. So get at least a 3.5 GPA and then join Phi Theta Kappa. So Phi Theta Kappa is actually an honor society for top community college students, and many universities, including ones like Texas A&M, offer special scholarships just for Phi Theta Kappa members. So you want to join this honor society because it will help you out tremendously. This is the honor society, and basically almost all community colleges in America have a chapter of this honor society on their campus. And you basically need a 3.5 GPA in order to join this honor society. So once you've joined Phi Theta Kappa and you graduate from community college, then you will transfer to public colleges and universities in America that have Phi Theta Kappa scholarships. So there's a lot of schools that actually offer you a Phi Theta Kappa scholarship. If you are a member, you just need to Google them and actually attend them. So one of these schools is actually Texas A&M, and basically they have a transfer scholarship for international students. So as you can see here, if you're a Phi Theta Kappa member, you can get anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 annually. And this basically means that you have gotten a $1,000 scholarship, which would allow you to actually get in-state tuition at Texas A&M as an international student. So that's the big thing. If you are to get one of these scholarships, you will pay in-state tuition. So as you can see, you get a very big cost savings. You'll be charged Texas resident rates if you get a scholarship, and instead of international student rates. So as I said, many public schools have a rule that say if an international student wins a $1,000 competitive scholarship from the university, then they automatically qualify for in-state tuition. So this is what you want to do. You want to be able to get into Phi Theta Kappa and then transfer into a school that gives competitive scholarships for Phi Theta Kappa members. And this will save you from paying the $40,000 per year, and you'll only pay something like $12,000, $13,000 per year, just like a Texan resident. So let's actually look at some of the math if you follow this plan. So for the first 2 years, you go at a community college and you pay around $8,000 per year. And then for the last 2 years, you go to a school such as Texas A&M with in-state tuition, and you'll pay something like $12,000 or $13,000 per year. Now the total cost for 4 years will be around $42,000 versus if you had to pay the full out-of-state tuition, that would have cost you over $160,000 just in tuition. So by following this plan, you can save over $100,000. And it all starts with you starting at community college, joining Phi Theta Kappa, and then getting a $1,000 scholarship. So now that you know the secret, here's what you should do next. So the first step is to look for a good community college in Texas or another state that you like, which has this rule of you'll be able to pay in-state tuition if you get a scholarship. Now the second step is to make sure that the university you want to transfer to has this $1,000 scholarship rule, and many of them do. Now the third thing you want to do is you want to work hard, keep a high GPA, join Phi Theta Kappa, and apply for the scholarships. And if you do all those 3 steps, then you're one step closer to paying a much lower amount for your tuition. So if this video helped you, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with anyone who needs it. And if you have any questions, then drop them in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you and given you some insight on what you could do in order to save a ton of money. And I will be seeing you in the next video.